François Rozwadowski, our most dangerous cultural blind spot, our most dangerous cultural blind spot, François Rozwadowski.
Imagine you have two things to do. Both are important, but one is urgent. Which one do you do first? The urgent one, of course. Fellow Toastmasters, dear judges, Mr. Contest Chair, welcome into my tropical time machine. We are in the late 80s in Brazil, and we are all 9-year-olds. We're on a boat with our parents, island hopping. The name of the place is Angra dos Reis, the Bay of the Kings. And if there's one thing that we love to do in the Bay of the Kings is snorkeling. And right there, under the water surface, is a parallel universe, a secret society, a magical El Dorado filled with colorful creatures, yellow, orange, black and white striped fish at every corner. A new surprise. Now, fast forward 20 years. We go back to the Bay of the Kings, now this time as adults. And we're so excited at the idea of reuniting with our little exotic friends. Only to be shocked. The once lavish, colorful, vibrant seabed has gone gray, empty, dead. Unfortunately, this story is not the fruit of my imagination. This story is when I experienced for the first time the true sadness of something called biodiversity loss, the death of entire species forever. A little bit like, when the dinosaurs went extinct. Now, you wouldn't think that something like that would happen during our lifetime, right? Well, let me break it to you. We are currently entering the 6th mass extinction event in the history of life on our planet. The issue is so serious that scientists are thinking about renaming our geological era from Holocene to Anthropocene, the era of men. And for many years, I thought that I knew what was behind this. I thought it was climate change that was behind this. Oh boy, was I wrong. The two major forces behind this loss of biodiversity are, number one, overfishing in the oceans. Number two, deforestation on land motivated by agricultural expansion. Those two combined account for roughly 60% of all the biodiversity loss that we've seen since the beginning of the Industrial Revolution. In other words, yes, it's our food chain. It's our food chain that's responsible for the state of affairs. It's our food that we love eating 3 times a day and that we love taking pictures of and sharing with our friends through Instagram. Our food system, which is currently feeding 8 billion people, soon 10 billion people by 2060. Now let me ask you this. What was the worst atrocity in human history? Now you might be thinking of some form of war, right? Second World War in particular, maybe, where at least 70 million people were industrially exterminated, either by guns, gas chambers, or atomic bombs. But when our industrial food chain is responsible for the death of entire species forever, we don't have the same emotional response. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is our most dangerous cultural blind spot. I mean, if we can't recognize that us entering the 6th mass extinction event in the history of life on our planet as our greatest crisis, then I'm sorry, but we're no better than the captains of the Titanic, and we've set ourselves on a collision course with something much bigger than ourselves. So I have 3 messages for you tonight. My first message is that if you really care about nature, if you really care about life on our planet and future generations, look at climate change as something important, yes, but look at biodiversity loss as something urgent. My second message is that if we want to do something about this, we need to redesign the food chain from the bottom up. My third message is that if you start looking at this topic from the point of view of biodiversity and ecosystems, you will find a whole community of alternative farmers who understood this, and they're trying to solve this problem. And these are the true entrepreneurs. These are the true innovators. These are the true resistance of the 21st century. And they need our support as consumers, as investors, and as policymakers. So please today join me in shedding some light on this cultural blind spot. Join me today in supporting these alternative farmers. Join me today in putting the transformation of our food chain at the top of our priorities for the 21st century, so that next time when we go snorkeling in the Bay of the Kings with our children and our grandchildren, we will be swimming and reuniting with our exotic friends, as opposed to swimming in a sea of crying ghosts. Thank you very much.